Welcome back to the Pulse of the Day. Let's take a look at what is happening regarding Geregu Power. It's trading for more than 3 times Transpower on the NGX. When you look at both of them comparatively and the fundamentals, you see that which would you identify as a better sell? On what grounds?
We have Samuel with us, of course, to answer these questions. Samuel, are you there?
No, that's really. Yes, I'm here if you can hear me.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So
I think that's an interesting question, and that's really putting one on the spot. Well,
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, so I would not really, I can hear you, I can hear you.
All right. I was saying that if you look at what is happening with Geregu Power, if you draw a comparative analysis between Geregu Power and Transpower, you'll see that we need to understand what is happening regarding their fundamentals. Which would you identify as a better sell, and on what ground would you identify that particular share as a better sell?
My response to that would be depending on what your reasons for what are your investment goals when you want to buy or sell. If you are looking to, if you're one of those who bought Geregu at the beginning of the year, you probably have done over 100% by now. You might want to sell because as of it's trading, I think 1,150 right now. That's a huge already so far this year. You probably want to consider selling. But then when you put that side by side, comparing with Transpower, that has only done marginally, except from the few gains that you reported in the first few days of listing, it hasn't really done substantially well. You look at it, it probably still it's still a discount, it's still selling at trading at a discount value, and you want to consider probably buying or holding for the long term to see how that's going to pan out over the short to medium term. But then at the end of the day, it depends on why you're holding and why you're selling. If you're holding for the short time, I think you probably need to consider selling Geregu. But if it's long term, at the end of the day, I think both have good prospects. The sector and the industry as a whole has a very positive outlook, and it looks like it will continue to dole out very good profitabilities in the short to medium term.
All right. This week has been a very, very exciting week. If you look at the market, staying in the sector, Aradel Holdings, there's been a flash hype, the pump and dump, quick profits. How are you describing what the stock has witnessed in its first week on the NGX?
I think that's an interesting debut for Aradel. And for me, I think the market is just trying to soak it in, understand exactly what is going on. A number of people have been looking out for a number of disclosures from the company to see how exactly they're doing. We've seen a number of documents written by some investment houses around the structure of the business and how they've been doing. But I think a number of investors really want to see more and do not want to rush in and rush out. And don't forget that the general tone of the market is still largely bearish. And then for stocks who come in at over 700, you would always want to be cautious when you try going into some of this stocks. And I think that's exactly what we see playing out. But over the short to medium term, I think there's still going to be some form of reversal in that trend by the time the market has pretty much soaked in as much information about the company that they want to, we start seeing some level of buy from investors.
Yeah, I mean, interesting. And of course, the high expectations there. But like you said, investors may not want to rush in and rush out, but it does appear like that's what they're doing, right? Taking a look at some of the investment trends that we're seeing, investors are exercising very little patience, within our markets. They're in and out, in for the hot money and quick profits. Even on the fixed income side, investors, boost their portfolio with, more short-term instruments. So, and even within the equities market, we're seeing that frequent in and out quick profit taking. What are your thoughts on this trend, right? And perhaps its impact on how it could potentially shape the investment landscape long-term in Nigeria?
Yeah, interesting. So when you look at the yield curve for some of those fixed income instruments like the treasury bills or bonds, you will see that it's quite inverted. So it means that for short-term instruments, you have yields higher, and then it begins to invert when it comes to the long term. And it gives you an impression of what investors are also seeking out for. Interest rates are high right now for short-term instruments. So why not, as much as possible, go short and get as much yield as you want to get, so that you don't lock in possibly no interest rate for too long a period. And that is also impacting what is happening or what we are seeing in the equities market, where a number of people just want to actively trade and as much as possible gain with those active trades. So if you look at the volume, aside from banking stocks being highly traded in the stock market, which of course are very highly liquid, many of the stocks that you see keep moving are illiquid stocks, penny stocks, growth stocks. So it gives you the idea that investors just want to, as much as possible, gain from quick tradings and then move their monies around probably into some other instrument apart from equities, probably for fixed income instruments. And at the end of the day, everyone just want to try to beat what inflation is saying right now, 32.7, whatever investment strategy that you can employ to help you hedge against this. I think any investor would likely go for it.
Yeah, I mean, inflation is definitely dictating a lot within the investment space, but we'll continue to see the direction all of that heads. Thank you so much for joining us, Sam Oyekanmi, and hopefully you enjoy your weekend.